I see.
Look, I see mansions in the kingdom. I see hunters slaying demons. I see fire on this earth coming down like Hiroshima. I see prophets rising up, prophesying scriptures cut. I see Christ, he coming back. And he black, he look like us. I see it, I see it, I see it, I see it.
Shalom. We are not a hate group. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Israel United in Christ is a nonviolent, Bible-based movement. We do not advocate or condone any acts of violence against any race, ethnicity, or gender. We advise that if anyone hears or knows of any plots to cause harm to anyone or break the laws of the land, you must contact the proper authorities to bring awareness to any possible threat, as stated in Leviticus chapter 5, verse 1.
Hey, shalom, Israel, Most High in Christ bless. Most High, I did a Captain Shemai. Ever notice that Captain Shemai does that? He repeats himself. Most High in Christ bless. Most High in Christ bless. Now I got him doing it. All praise to the Lord. We, of course, my name is Captain Shem.
Officer Matthew.
Officer Iran.
Officer Malachi.
All praises. Look, so tonight Officer Micah is off, so we're going to forego the Watchman Report until next week, but we're going to jump right into our thumbnail that we do every single show. Is created with a little bit of meaning. And so I'm going to point out the title, and then Officer Iran, who got his Captain Ben Zion. Captain Ben Zion look like that, right? You got his, you young brothers today, you rock that. Put the camera on Iran real quick. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Man, he's like 30 years old. He looking like a 19-year-old haircut. Look at that. All right. Get off there. Go back, Fat Gabe. Sorry. So, action in Asia. A lot of times when we think of the word Asia, the country, we think of the Japanese, the folks that have the characteristics of Chinese and Mongolian, the eye features, right? But Asia is much, much, much bigger than that. So there's a lot going on in Asia. Their armies make ready. So go ahead and Officer Iran, take us through a little exploration.
So to the top left, you have Russia army. And then to the bottom left is the Chinese army. And then to the bottom right is the North Korean army. And then to the top right is the East Indian army. And all these armies are over there in Asia, and they're preparing to go against the dragon.
Hey, and look, if you look, check it out. If you look in the upper right-hand corner, right, you can see that there's a guy with a turban on. I don't know if you can see that. He's got a turban on. Yep, there's one there and there's one there. And so all of these countries have an affiliation, and they're starting to realize something. So I wanted to open the show real quick with this scripture. Do me a favor. Give me as these things are going on, this is what the 12 tribes of Israel are supposed to be doing. Give me the book of Luke. Bear with me, I just had it. I'm sorry, we'll go to Mark first. Go to Mark 13, verse 31. All right? Y'all pay attention to Bishop Nathaniel's classes. These classes are to strengthen our faith, unyielding, unwavering faith as we approach these last days. Things are happening every single week in the news, okay? Things are happening to the point where, unlike any time in history, okay? And you are living during these times. So, read that.
That's the book of Mark, chapter 13 and verse 31.
Uh-huh.
Heaven and earth shall pass away.
It has not passed away yet. Heaven and earth have not passed away, but it will pass away, okay? Read on.
But my words shall not pass away.
Hold that. Give me Isaiah 34. That just came to me real quick. What does it mean when it says, heavens and earth shall pass away? What does that mean? I'm going to give you an understanding. The Bible is going to give you an understanding. Let me just look at it real quick. This is a new Bible that's really... Nope. Let me see something. Blah, 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 blah. I want verse 2 first.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 34 and verse 2.
What does it mean? The name of our show, and a lot of times we do a lot of in-depth analysis, but the name of the show is Precept Upon Precept. That's why we try to do our articles and our videos to kind of connect, just like we do when we deal with the Bible. So check this out. This is going to help us understand. Read.
Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 2.
Uh-huh.
For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations.
So as we go into today's show about the rising up in Asia of their armies, understand that although they are rising to fight eventually against the U.S., the Lord is mad at all of them. Okay? It doesn't matter if it's the Russian Edomites, the East Indians, the Chinese, and it doesn't matter. Okay? Read on.
In his fury upon all their armies.
And this is, I didn't even plan this, but his fury going to be upon all their armies. And tonight we're going to go into their armies about what's going on with them. Read on.
He had utterly destroyed them.
Because tonight you're going to see some technology that's going to blow your mind. Read on.
He had delivered them to the slaughter.
So the Most High gives them the power to raise up, gives them, who's the guy that created the nuclear fusion? Oppenheimer? He gave them the mind to do all these things, to create these nuclear missiles, to create these silos and all these things, these bunkers. And he's going to do all of that just so he can show his power and destroy them. Read on.
Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses.
So if that right there is talking about not one dead body, it's talking about a whole lot of death. There's another place where it talks about the blood will be to the horse's bridle. So if you think about it, a horse, right? A horse's head, the bridle is above a man's shoulder. Okay, read on.
And the mountains shall be melted with their blood.
How the hell can a mountain melt? I don't have the mind to even understand it. I know it's something real powerful to make a mountain melt. Let's get the understanding. Read on.
And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved.
Wait, remember before we said heavens and earth will pass away. We know that during the time of Luke, when he was speaking about it, he wasn't speaking about the Roman Empire. He was speaking about the last days. Isaiah prophetically, he can't really understand what he's seeing. He's doing the best he can with his verbiage of that time to explain what he sees. Read on.
And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved.
He doesn't understand. He said, there's things up in the heaven. And I'm watching these things being dissolved. This is what your forefather... See, this is the thing. The reason why we catch so much hell and go through things as black and Puerto Rican Dominicans, we have a special connection with God. Because we broke that connection, we became slaves. Isaiah was a very special prophet who had a connection with God. Read.
And the heavens.
Read verse 4 again, please.
Verse 4. And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved.
Isaiah sees the host and he sees them just disintegrate. Read on.
And the heavens shall be rolled together.
He said, I can't really, he said that these heavens are going to be rolled together. Read on.
And the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll.
And when you think about a scroll, today a child doesn't understand a scroll because they have tablets, they have emails. There's no such thing as a scroll. Back then, the scribes, they had things that of the time. So he's saying, well, what I see these things in the heavens being dissolved, and I see the host of heaven being rolling together like a scroll, but he sees it. Remember, this thing that was going to happen is destroying and melting mountains and moving mountains. This is what he's showing. Read on.
And all their hosts shall fall down, as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree.
So now go back to Luke 13. That just came to me. That's a pretty good precept.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 13 and verse 31.
We just starting here and then we're going to jump into some things.
Heaven and earth shall pass away.
Heaven and earth shall pass away. What is the earth passing away? Do me a favor. Get me Terminator 2 chain link fence scene, something like that. It's going to show, what is it talking about when it says the earth is going to pass? That's talking about a nuclear missile blast. All right? If you can get Terminator 2, read on.
But my words shall not pass away.
Read on.
But of that day and that hour knoweth no man.
And that's the thing. You get a lot of people that say, even in the old school with our elders, they thought back in the day that the year 2000 was going to be the end, that Christ was returning. It's before my time, in the truth, but they really believed that, some of them. And after when that wasn't true, a lot of men lost their mind. They lost faith, and they. So we don't know when it is. We don't know if you ever hear some of us say, "Yeah, 2033," the world, get the hell away from us, because we don't know. The Bible says, "No man." Read it again.
But of that day and that hour knoweth no man.
No, the elders, the elder of an Israelite camp.
Of that hour knoweth no man.
Well, the Pope.
Knoweth no man.
So nobody understands when that hour coming. Okay, read on.
No, not the angels which are in heaven.
Now hold up. So if the angels which are in heaven don't know, remember the angel, the judgment angel came to John when you read the book of Revelation. So if the force of the angels don't know the time, you think a camp leader from that got the truth, the home of the, you think you know, but that, so you're more powerful than the angels in heaven? That's show you that you can't put your trust in men. Read on.
Not the angels which are in heaven, neither the Son, but the Father.
So hold up. Even the Messiah, Jesus the Christ, okay, he doesn't even know. So who the hell do you think you are? That's why you got to be careful you follow certain brothers, man. Read on.
Take ye heed, watch and pray.
That's the whole point of us going to these scriptures. When we see these things happening, we know we're coming towards the end of a war. You'll take heed, watch. And that's what we're doing this show. We're watching what's going on in the earth. And read that last part again off Malachi.
Take ye heed, watch and pray.
And that's the thing. That's why if you notice, Bishop Nathaniel moves in the spirit. If you notice, he's been encouraging all of us to pray more, right? Why? Because things are going to get worse. So Bishop bringing his classes out, and it's the last couple of years have gotten very, very, last couple of months in particular, have been very, very focused. Get your mind ready. He's been doing Shout Out Tuesday classes on the Iberian Peninsula history, which is Spain and Portugal, and what happened to our children and our families. And he's getting you. Why is he going over these things? Because, look, as much as we would like not it to happen, this is a preparation of your mind. So, give me that video. This is talking about when it said the heavens. We kind of showed you the parable. Isaiah sees these things kind of falling from the fig tree. This is the best scene because most of us have seen this movie. It is a very popular scene, but it is very appropriate for the earth shall pass away. Okay, here's a visual. Pause real quick. Check this out. This is why we know that the Most High is real. If anybody understood when that time would come, everybody would know. If one person know, everybody would be prepared for it. This is a perfect example. If you knew that the nuclear bomb was coming, you wouldn't be at a park playing in the middle of the day. So this is why we have to be prepared, and we got to try to fight, because it's not going to be easy, because you got all the things of this world. You got bills, you got stress, you got your job, you've got your health, and all these things can really weigh and tarry on your spirit. Play.
Hey, let's try this one. Hey. There we go.
pause real quick. So when we read about the earth shall pass away, that is just, that's the power. That's of God right there, because God put it in the mind of men to create something that could do that. So the smith for the waster, all right? That's it on that? All right, so let's jump into the show. Pull up, Gabe. You numbered them? What's number one? Okay, I'm trying to pull it up on my phone. Is it the Iranian war with let me see. I want to check this out real quick. Officer Matt, say something. I gotta find this real quick.
Yeah, that scene in the Terminator is very, very frightening. That's why we got to make sure that we right. All right, we got to strive for getting over our sins. We got to strive for that. We got to be fighting for that. All right, are we gonna be perfect? No, the Bible says we're not gonna be perfect, but Christ said, "Be ye therefore perfect," meaning strive for it. He says, "Strive to enter in through the straight gate." Strive for it. Why? Because, like Bishop been bringing out, everybody's going to suffer persecution. Everybody, whether you in this truth or whether you not in this truth, these people that are your enemies, they're going to come against you. Now, the thing is, are they going to come against you and put you to death and you going to look for death again? Or are they going to come against you, put you to death, and you're going to look for everlasting life?
Right. So we got a choice, and here's the thing. It is appointed for all men to pass, to die. And are we going to die for something? Are we going to stand for something? We're going to fall for anything. And look, not everybody is going to be tortured, but Bishop is preparing, because some of us are. And that's where your mind has to be. So let's do number one. I like this. I think Gabe put this up, right? Gabe shared this. This is a good article. Pull this up. This is almost 1 million. This is North Korea. North Korea. If you can get a map of North Korea, I like to look at geography, and we'll pull the article up first, and the tech team will get a map when they get a moment.
North Korea claims almost 800,000 have signed up to fight against the U.S.
So to be very clear, that means they got a hell of a lot more than 800,000, because what we're going to find is that there's a lot of former reservists and others. So this is not their whole army. This is talking about re-enlisting and new people joining. So let's find out what's going on in North Korea.
Seoul, March 18th.
Seoul,
March 18th.
Damn, when you went to school in New Orleans?
I got New Orleans
This
education.
guy's terrible. Just kidding.
Seoul, March 18th, Reuters. North Korea claims that about 800,000 of its citizens volunteered to join or re-enlist in the nation's military to fight against the United States. North Korea State newspaper reported on Saturday.
So that 800,000 is not talking about all the active duty members. It's talking about people that have not enlisted or that are phasing out. In the U.S., they call it IRR, which is the Individual Ready Reserve, the last component of your contract. So a lot of them want to either go back in or join. It's not counting the rest of the North Korean Navy, Army, Air Force, so on and so forth. That's a huge influx is the point. Read on.
About 800,000 students and workers on Friday alone.
Read it again.
About 800,000 students and workers on Friday alone.
So this is let's say they're wrong and it's only 500,000, 500,000. It shows you that the people are of one mind. And this is why when you read about the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, we were told, I remember when we went on flights, that whenever you travel as a U.S. U.S. military personnel, that you're not to make yourself, what's kind of hard because we had high and tights and everybody could see that you from your cover line that you actually was a friggin' military guy. But the point is that we are called the great Satan. We are. It doesn't matter. And here's the thing. Unfortunately, even black people in the army, they still. We are known. The U.S. is known as Satan. Okay, that's how they look at you. And now Korea, the North Korean army, the people are like, we see the U.S. They're trying to sanction Russia, and China's next, and they're trying to militarily fight for position of Taiwan, and Taiwan's not that far from Korea. So they've got South Korea exercises with the U.S. and Japan are doing exercises right on the same peninsula in South Korea. So the people are like, listen, something's going down. We're going to go down. We're not going to go down without a fight. All right, read on.
About 800,000 students and workers on Friday alone across the country expressed a desire to enlist or re-enlist in the military to counter the United States. The Rodney Summon
Rodong Sinmun
newspaper reported the soaring enthusiasm of young people to join the army is a demonstration of the unshakable will of the younger generation to merciless wipe out the war mechanics making last.
Hold up. Younger generation to mercilessly wipe out the war maniacs, making a last-ditch efforts to eliminate our precious socialist country and achieve great cause of national reunification without fail in a clear manifestation of their ardent patriotism, the North's Radon Sinmun said. Here's what they're saying, is that they understand that the U.S. is a global tyrant. That's what they understand.
They called them maniacs.
Maniacs.
They called them maniacs.
That's like if you were to try to take food off Gates' plate, he would look at you like a maniac. What are you doing, right? All right. Fat jokes are going to be later on. You stick around. You lard asses, don't stick around for the last part of the show. All right, read on, Malachi.
The North's claim came after North Korea on Thursday launched its Hwasong 17 intercontinental ballistic missile, ICBM, in response to ongoing U.S. South Korea military drills.
So now remember, this is in the continent of Asia. Pull up the map. You got the map of the Korean Peninsula, please?
Hey, Cap, real quick, I just did like a search just now. I went to CNN.
Right.
None of this is on CNN. You know what they're talking about on CNN? Trump's getting arrested. Russia got bombed in the Ukraine. What Netanyahu's doing, all of this other stuff, none of this.
And this is why it's very important to rely on different news sources. We very rarely pull from CNN or CNBC unless it's something that we can use to. But we got a map. That's a good point. That's a good point, Officer Matthew make. I'm gonna tell you something. If it wasn't for this truth, I would be right along and believe a lot of the crap that's being pushed out there. We have to think outside of what our oppressors teach us. Can we get a map? All right. Yeah, look, do me a favor. If we don't have a map, that's okay. Okay, look. So, Esau's the devil. So when you look right now, right, if you look, so you see China is in the pink. Right below China, North Korea is in orange. And right below that, South Korea is in the same color as Japan, right? So if you think about militarily, right, that that's a very large peninsula that goes down into north of the East China Sea. So all of those waterways, China shares a waterway with both South and North Korea. Here's a reality. Before this, they became South and North Korea. China, that was all ancient China's. That is part of China. That's like someone coming and taking Florida and saying now, no, China has a vested interest what the hell goes on in South Korea. And later on, we're going to show you something that's going on in South Korea that China has a problem with. All right? You got a better one? Okay. Okay, there we go. So that's not bad. That's good. So we have South Korea and North Korea, and that Seoul is the capital of South Korea, and I can't pronounce that. Pyongyang. Pyongyang. Um, right.
Hey, now Cap. Now keep in mind. Remember we covered this last show that Japan.
Right.
Now they gearing up. You know, North Korea's gearing up and all of that. But they got Japan. Japan got 120 U.S. bases right there. It's some stuff. If some stuff go down, they gonna be in for a fight.
So remember, in the article it said that they have ICB, intercontinental ballistic missiles. The U.S. is the whore that sits in many waters because they have many bases in Japan, like you just pointed out. Korea, they have multiple bases. So you can shoot an ICBM from Japan and hit China. All these things are, why are we showing you this? Because something's going to happen. We don't know when, but it's going to happen. 800,000 people from North Korea in one day on a Friday decide they want to re-enlist? Come on, man. Something's going to happen. We got to watch these things. Let's go back to that article, and we're going to move on. Y'all got to watch. Pay attention.
North Korea fired the ICBM into the sea between the Korean Peninsula and Japan on Thursday, hours before South Korea's president flew to Tokyo for a summit that discussed ways to counter the nuclear-armed North.
Here's the thing. You know what's so ridiculous? South Korea, which is Seoul is the capital of South Korea, which they share the same peninsula. What's so amazing is South Korea is concerned with a nuclear threat from North Korea, but yet Japan is a nuclear threat with the United States with 120 bases, and South Korea has nuclear capacity too through the United States of America. So it's complete hypocrisy. And that's why China is not going to take much more and they're doing something. China's doing something about it. And look, we're not pro-China, we're not pro-BRICS, we're not pro-USA, we're pro-God. We're just showing you what's happening. Play on, read on.
The North's ballistic missiles are banned under United Nations Security Council resolutions.
So here again, more hypocrisy. So the United Nations Security Council wants to ban missiles, but yet the United States has military bases in almost every land and the second most nuclear missiles in the world, second to Russia. So who the hell are you to say that a country can't have this, but you control? It shows you who's running the earth. That's my point. Read on.
And the launch drew condemnation from governments in Seoul, Washington, and in Tokyo.
Right. So this is amazing. What the hell does Washington have to say? Washington is in the other side of the earth. Seoul, yeah, I can understand. It's close by. Tokyo is Japan, which is the island to the east. All right. This last part, and then we're going to South Korea.
South Korean and American forces begin 11 days of joint drills.
So South Korea and American forces, which could have come from Japan, the Philippines, Malaysia. The list goes on and on and on. Okay, 11 days of joint task force drills. Read on.
Dubbed Freedom Shield 23 on Monday, held on a scale not seen since 2017 to counter the North's growing threats.
What we don't realize, what we have to remember is that this is taking place on a peninsula that shares the same border with China. So you don't think China is concerned with what the hell's going on with 11 days of joint drills with the U.S. right on their freaking border? Interesting. Read.
Kim accused the United States and South Korea of increasing tensions with the military drills.
Right, and that's exactly, so you fire one missile and you get all these red flags, but then you have 11 days of joint drills. So again, it goes back to the same hypocrisy. Let's look at number 2 real quick, and keep us track time-wise because I know we're flying already.
Hey, Cap. They
Yes,
was
sir.
remember right before the Ukraine and Russia popped off, Russia was constructing drills. They was constructing drills for like 2-3 months, and then they was telling Ukraine they ain't got nothing to worry about. And the next thing you know, Russia, they ran in that thing. Excuse my French, but now you got the U.S. doing drills right on the China front doorstep. It looked like a similar pattern. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we're gonna see, and that's the thing is that obviously Iran. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I know one thing: the Mossad is creating a situation where that's why everybody's stressed out, not knowing. We know what's gonna happen. We know the Lord is gonna create all these chess moves, and then He's gonna have stuff pop off in all parts of the earth. Number two, this is perfect segue to go right into what you were talking about. Number two is an article about Iran, China, and Russia kick off naval drills off the Sea of Oman. Sea of Oman. I need a map, please. Sea of Oman. This is from last week. Let's read this, please.
Iran, China, and Russia kick off naval drills in Sea of Oman. Wednesday, Wednesday 15, March 23, 11:25 a.m. Last updated.
Let's go, brothers.
This file picture shows domestically built Maj class Dinya frigate of the Islamic Republic of Iran Navy. The naval forces of Iran, China, and Russia have started a joint exercise in the Sea of Oman as the three countries are teaming up to deepen exchanges and cooperation among their navies.
So the reason why I want the Sea of Oman is because China and Russia have a land border. Iran is in Esau's terminology, the Middle East. Why is this important? Because Iran has the capacity to do what? Shoot at ICBM at Israel, okay? Which is the little U.S. over there. So now you have Iran talking about getting into BRICS. And we're going to get into this in a minute about how BRICS is expanding. BRICS is the acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. All right? We're going to remember that word BRICS for later. Okay? Whenever you get the map, but let's keep reading.
The maritime drills dubbed Naval Security Belt Combined War Game 202 kicked off on March 15th and will run through March 19th.
So that in itself is the 15th to the 19th is fairly extensive. But then remember, we just read that the U.S. is doing an 11 days of joint training, okay? So it's amazing how they'll talk, oh, Iran is teaming up with China. Well, you are teaming up with Japan in China's backyard. And no one, they don't make cross-comparative, they don't analyze that. They just, if anything that goes against the U.S., they just say, see, you're doing that. Well, you're doing the same damn thing, but worse. Read on.
China's Ministry of National Defense announced in a statement on Wednesday, the drills will help deepen practical cooperation among the navies of participating countries, the statement pointed out. The maritime exercise will reportedly involve forces from the Marine and Airborne units of the Islamic Republic of Iran Navy, the Islamic Revolution Guards Corps, IRGC, Navy, and flotillas from China and Russia.
So just the point of the article is that Iran, Russia, and China. Iran, Russia, and China, okay? We got that map? Okay, so this is, now look, check this out. Remember, in 2nd Esdras, that was the route that our forefathers took. They came up of the Tigris and Euphrates River. They went down to the Persian Gulf, around that to the Gulf of Oman, and then they went down to the Indian Ocean all the way there. Anyways, the point of this is that Iran is there. And India is actually, if you look at a clock, the middle of the clock is Gulf of Oman where the red dot is. Your 3 o'clock is Gujarat, and then you got Iran north. So if you go all the way 3 o'clock, Gabe, that's India, okay? So when you go around the bottom of India, that's one of the largest trade routes in the entire planet Earth. Why? Because China is the #1 exporter of goods in the world. Okay? Germany knows that. We know that. Look at anything in your house. Look at your clothes. Look at things around your house. Made in China. Why is this important? Iran's navy, look at Iran, India, Russia, and China. Give me a map of India real quick. This is very important, y'all understand.
And Cap,
Yes, sir.
remember, China just brokered a meeting with Saudi Arabia
Yes.
and Iran to put their differences to the side and join up.
Yep.
So by them doing military drills in the Sea of Oman,
Yep.
that's the Dragons of Arabia.
I'm telling you, y'all listen, y'all got to pay attention to what's going on. The U.S. does not talk about this in their news because they want the American public to be straight up ignorant. We were just at if you look at the Arabian Sea, if you could circle the Arabian Sea, Gabe, okay? The Sea of Oman is north of the Arabian Sea, right about there, okay? Now, look at Iran, which is there, okay? When you go down, there's that point is India in green, right? As soon as you turn that, that's the trade route that China, there's the South China Sea, it's not labeled, but all of that East China Sea, then there's the South China Sea. China's coast is where most of the exports on the entire planet Earth go to. Some go out to the Pacific Ocean and hit the ports of friggin' California, right? And hit ports of Portland and other places. They go through the Panama Canal, go that route. But a lot of it goes down, okay, through the, that lane, shipping lane around India to the eastern shores of Africa. India has the second largest population in the planet Earth, second to China. So that is a very important part. And guess what? China, Russia, and now Iran are working together. Now, do me a favor, pull up the acronym BRICS. Because BRICS is the acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So India is involved with Russia and China through an economic program. So you see how things are starting to come together? Now, no problem. Go back to the article. Well, I want us to think. Actually, matter of fact, you know what? In the interest of time, y'all read that on your own. Go to number 3. And I have a time mark for you, Gabe. The first 90 seconds, and you're going to jump to about 2:22, all right? So now this is, and pull up a map of the Black Sea, all right? Pull up the United States, a bunch of friggin' hypocrites. The Black Sea. Now, we know what a B-52 bomber is. It is a significant, large aircraft. It's a YouTube video. Check this out. Stage. The B-52 bomber is a very large U.S. plane that carries cargo. It can bomb things, hence the word bomber. That's a fighter jet of the Russian army. Let's call it equivalent to, say, perhaps an F-16, for example, right? Look at the size of that B-52 bomber, okay? So what's going on is they're flying in so-called international waters near the Black Sea. Now, mind you, Russia is at war with Ukraine, which the Ukraine would have been decimated in the first 3 days if it hadn't been for NATO giving them a crap load of weaponry, okay, through the U.S. The U.S. is the one who's providing them. And then the U.S. is allies, which is England and Poland, these other countries. They're going to follow what the U.S. does. Let's look at the Black Sea, please. Okay, this is exactly where I want to go here. So the U.S., what they do, they're slick as hell. So during a war, this is during the war. See the Ukraine, see Russia, okay? And if you go a little bit north, but don't worry about it for now, a little bit more northeast is actually Moscow, which is the capital. So the Black Sea is so-called international waters. Well, then why doesn't the U.S. fly down near Turkey? See, what they do is they fly right on the friggin' border. And guess what's going on? Right now, there's a friggin' war right now. And they're fighting over, see, the sea is Asav. There's a place that they're fighting over right now. On the, I can't remember the name. That's where all the news is talking about. You're going to fly a B-52 friggin' bomber right along the border up there? I think so. I think so. So here's the point. You're flying a war ship, and you think that Russia's not going to step to you? And they didn't shoot it down. They just rolled up on them and said, you are approaching Russian airspace. Get the F out of here, okay? So let's go back to the video. Now we kind of set the stage. So there's the U.S., they're filming these Russian fighter pilots. If they wanted that destroyed, they would have fired on them. They didn't fire on them. But they getting real close. Jump to 222. Just want to show you this is going on right now. Now. Okay. So watch this, watch this. Listen. Some commentary coming up. This should be coming up. How far? Where are we at right now? Yeah, 228. They're supposed to be. They were supposed to be talking. That's why I stopped it there. See if we can go back a little bit. There has to be. Okay, that's okay. So let's use the words. As prescribed in International Civil Aviation ICAO rules of flight. The reason why the U.S. put this out there, they want to make it seem like Russia is breaking the rules of flight patterns in international waters. Well, hello, your ass broke every single treaty, and NATO encroached all the way to Russia's border. And now they are flying on Russia's border, saying that they want them to respect the rights of international flights according to that made-up committee, whatever the hell it was, and it's during a war that they started. This is how you know, if you had any doubt that America is Babylon the Great, the whore that sitteth on many waters, this should give you some sort of understanding. You have to be bold as anything. During a war, to fly a doggone B-52 bomber right near Russian airspace and then make a video like you're the victim. You see how it's amazing. You got to really see what's going on here. That's all I wanted. Let's go out to number. Actually, we're getting ready to take a break, right? So look, hey, we're hitting you hard. We're hitting you fast with a lot of information. Stick with us after Kingdom Music with Officer Matt. We're going to get right back into the Asian theater and their armies rising up. We need to watch what's going on, and we got to pray. So stay with us. Get your energy drink, whatever you need to do. Stick around. Shalom.
IUIC TV, where we are recreating the narrative for the black family. As the Bible says, where there's no vision, the people perish. The media have been vehicles that have conveyed destructive images of God's children, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Not only are we in the streets, but we are on the airwaves and networks, compelling our people to come back to their heritage. Tune in to IUIC TV.
Hey, that's all right. How did you get that many black men together and they ain't shooting and killing and robbing?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Know what's going on? Isaiah Judah. Yeah. That I used to hang with. I don't hang no more. My set that I used to claim, man. I don't claim no more. My flag. Yeah, I had to drop it. I had to let it go. Soldiers in the army of the Lord, and we standing on the game that I used to hang with. I don't hang no more. My set that I used to claim, man. I don't claim no more. My flag. Yeah, I had to drop it. I had to let it go. Soldiers in the army of the Lord. You got to stand tall with your back against the wall. You can't fall now, dog. Let me tell y'all, if you trip, you fall. What you think may not be.
Yo, we go the distance, across the waters, teach our people, this is a mission. 12 tribes worldwide, this is redemption. Yeah, this is redemption. This is redemption. We go the distance, across the waters, teach our people, this is a mission. 12 tribes worldwide.
Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. That's right. Let's hold a fast for a brother when he's down. Activate the angels and bring them on down. Prayers up, it's a lot that we go through. It's a battle to the end, we gotta fight through. Gold is tried in the fire, I'm brighter. Trials and tribulation bringing us tighter. Am I my brother's keeper? You damn right. On the battlefield front line with my whole life. One mind, one spirit, the same truth. Lone garment with the fringe, border and blue. One mission, one people, one Lord. That cuts deep with a two-edged sword. My people chosen of the Most High, the lawgiver and creator of all life. I don't know anybody else equal. That's above God's chosen people.
I don't know anything else deeper, but to be my brother's keeper. One mind, one spirit to the same beat. Send the God when we hit these streets. I don't know anybody else equal. That's above God's chosen people. With the start of the earth from birth. With the fringe of put a blue on my shirt.
Tú debes ser el guarda de tu hermano, echarle tú la mano cuando sea necesario, no tener odio ni tratarlo como extraño, pero exhortarlo para no estar en pecado. Hay que dejar la envidia y el enojo, perder el reino porque tú eres rencoroso. El mandamiento está en la Biblia, ama a tu prójimo, la ley que te da vida. Voy a pelear por mi raza, por mi gente. Somos especial, Dios nos hizo diferentes. Somos su gente escogida. Él no nos creó para vivir en porquería. Hay que volver a lo que nos da la vida. Somos Israel, 12 tribus escogidas. No soy hispano, yo me llamo israelita. Las leyes del Señor son lo que nos da la vida.
I don't know anything else deeper, but to be my brother's keeper. One mind, one spirit to the same beat. Send the God when we hit these streets. I don't know anybody else equal. That's above God's chosen people. With the start of the earth from birth. With the fringe I put a blue on my shirt.
Mi gente, baila conmigo. Aquí en Israel
y él estamos unidos. Am I my brother's keeper para siempre? So let's dance and don't let that leave tu mente. Gird your loins with the strength of the Most High and keep his laws as the apple of your eye. These godly men supplying scripts our people need. Deuteronomy 28 and 15. Time to pick up our people from their knees. Praying to Caesar Borgia, that false cheese. Levítico 19:17. Recuerdas que eres de los elegidos. The Most High's chosen people. Morenos, nativos y latinos. We're the salt of the earth from birth. With the fringe of border blue on my skirt. I don't know anything else deeper, but to be my brother's keeper. One mind, one spirit to the same beat. Send the God when we hit these streets. I don't know anybody else equal. That's above God's chosen people. With the salt of the earth from birth. With the fringe of border blue on my shirt.
Hey, Shalom Israel. I was supposed to come on before the video, but pray for the IT team. I guess their fat fingers must have hit the button too soon. But that was La Undécima Hora. No, I'm not Northern Kingdom. I'm Judah. But I do know how to pronounce. So that was a very, very good song. Like the whole album go in. You know what I'm saying? Salvacion is one of my favorites. But Northern Kingdom brought it. Shout out to my brothers out there in California getting it in for OR. And look, y'all brothers and sisters, man, look, if y'all going to Passover, it's going to be on. Telling you, I can't wait to see them perform. I'm going to try to hop on stage with them. But like the music that we bring in Israel is geared to have us to worship the Most High in song as well. All right. So go support. Go to originalroyalty.com. Get La Undécima Hora or the 11th hour in English for you Judites. Get the album. Support Israel. And trust me, you will not be disappointed. All right. That's been Officer Matt with Kingdom Music. Shalom.
Yo, we go the distance, across the waters, teach our people, this is a mission. 12 tribes worldwide, this is redemption. Yeah, this is redemption. This is redemption. We go the distance, across the waters, teach our people, this is a mission. 12 tribes.
Hey, Shalom Israel. Hey, welcome back to another edition, Precept upon Precept. We're coming back from the break. Hope you enjoyed our original royalty and the music that Israel United in Christ puts out on a regular basis. So, all pray. You artists out there, be like Officer Matt. Be patient. Don't rush to jump to SoundCloud. You wait, stick around, be patient, and the Lord will bless you, and you get on original royalty. That's what the leadership recommends, right? That's what Captain Zakar, we recommend that, right?
Yes, sir. Brothers got to have their mind and spirit right before they get on OR. You catch the music curse. You drop an album and you drop out the truth.
And that's happened to more than a few brothers, unfortunately. Pull that up now. We're going to see an article on the NATO chief, which is ironic that the NATO chief is not an American, being that NATO is run by the United States of America. So they have their puppet that speaks for the mouth of the dragon. At 1:40, he's concerned with the relationship that China and Russia are continuing to build. Let's see what he has to say. We're going to get into that relationship right after this. Play.
Then, of course, the meeting that takes place in Moscow is part of a pattern we have seen over the last years, where China and Russia are coming closer and closer. We have to remember that just a couple of weeks, a few weeks before the invasion last February, President Xi and President Putin met in Beijing, where they signed a joint declaration promising each other a partnership without any limits. And we see how China and Russia are coming closer and closer in the military domain. They have joint exercises, joint patrols, naval and air patrols, in the economic domain, and also in the political and diplomatic.
Let's keep in mind. Just leave it on the guy. Let's keep in mind. They're geographic neighbors that share a border. Of course they're going to do joint drills and things. That's why the Canadian military does joint drills with the United States, because they share a doggone border. So the fact that the United States, it just shows you that they, give me Job 9:24. Don't take it off the screen. Just let's leave this guy here. I want to reiterate and keep using the scripture to show you who is in control of and who the wicked actually is. Okay? Read that.
This is the book of Job, chapter 9 and verse 24.
Uh-huh.
The earth is given.
The what? Wait, the what?
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
You don't have Russia telling the United States what the hell to do, okay? But you have the United States telling Russia and everybody else on the earth what they can do. Last week we showed you that Brazil docked an Iranian warship, and the U.S. had a problem with that as well. But the U.S. has bases everywhere in the doggone earth that they dock, not just ships, they dock planes, whatever else, submarine, whatever the hell they want. The United States of America, the so-called, and when I say so-called, white men, we never gave them the name white. We never gave ourselves the name black. They gave themselves the name white. We're just using the name that they gave themselves. It's the so-called white man who is known as the United States of America. They are the wicked of the earth. They are Babylon the Great. That's who they are. Okay? Play the video.
Domain. So the meeting in Moscow is part of that pattern where China and Russia are working more and more closely and building a stronger and stronger partnership.
Real quick, I want you, and this just came to me, I want you to pull up. I know it's a little dry, but this is necessary. Get me the acronym BRICS. You can go, if you have to go Wikipedia just real quick, that's fine. And I'm going to show you something that's going to happen that the U.S. is trying to do, and they're using a front to try to get into a country, to our direct south, and that's Mexico. We're going to pull up the acronym BRICS. We've covered it multiple times. This is a review. Why is this important? Because you are going to hear so much about this in years to come. This is very important that you understand this. Okay. Officer Malachi, the best you can.
BRICS is an acronym for 5 leading emerging economies. Excuse me. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa.
Stop. They're going to have to expand this acronym soon because there's a lot more countries that are interested in signing up because they realize, and one of the countries which we're going to talk about next is actually Mexico. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. Read on.
The first 4 were initially grouped as BRIC, or the BRICS, in 2001 by Goldman Sachs economist Jim O'Neill.
Goldman Sachs is a economy reporting agency that is recognized by Fortune 500 traders. It's everyone knows about Goldman Sachs. Read on.
Who coined the term to describe fast-growing economies that would collectively dominate the global economy by 2050.
Now, we're almost halfway there. Now it's 2023. We're almost halfway to that 2050. Read on.
South Africa was added in 2010.
Now, so a lot is going to happen in 2023 and beyond. Read on.
The BRICS have a combined area of 39,746,220 kilometers to the second power.
Okay, let's just move on. I just want you to show you that what BRICS is. Scroll down. I'm sorry. I want to look at the trillions. They have trillions of dollars there.
A total GDP, PPP, of around U.S. 51.99 trillion.
Read that again. I think you're reading that number wrong. Is that billion or trillion?
A total GDP, PPP, of around U.S. 51.99 trillion.
Now look at the reserves. Read the next sentence.
And an estimated U.S. 4.46 trillion in combined foreign reserve as of 2018.
They have reserves of 4.46 trillion. What is the GDP as a gross domestic product? What is that talking about? Because China, Russia, China and India have more than 2/3 of the world's population. 1.7 billion and 1.6 billion. Don't forget Brazil. Why is Brazil important? Why? So, leave this mess. Perfect. Let's look at Brazil. All right? I want you to go above to the north. I want you to circle Mexico, Gabe. I want you to understand why all of a sudden, when the cartels have been there for 40 years, why all of a sudden they're talking about 4 people that got kidnapped and them wanting to go down into Mexico to fight the cartel with the U.S. military. I wonder why they're doing that. I wonder why. Give me the article about Mexico. There's 2 of them I sent you.
Sounds like they're trying to be a savior.
They're trying to be a savior, but also, if they get there, because I don't know if they have any military bases in Mexico that I know of, but I know this much. If you get a foothold in the south of Mexico, it is a direct front to fight against Brazil. Remember, Brazil had Iranian warships there. Remember, the Cuban Missile Crisis was what? There was Russian missiles in Cuba. They do not want BRICS to get a foothold in the Western Hemisphere. And I'm telling you, the Lord is going to muster up the battle. I'm telling you. Read that about Mexico. Is that what I wanted? No, wait a minute. No, I want the one about the Mexico. Maybe I didn't send it. Hold up. Maybe I didn't send it.
So, Cap, I just looked up the NATO GDP.
Mm-hmm.
NATO's GDP is 18.35 trillion.
Wow. Y'all heard? Say that again. I don't think they caught that at home.
NATO's GDP is 18.35 trillion. So BRICS's GDP dwarfs NATO's GDP. Now, there's an old saying, don't go to war unless your money right. Guess what? These people got the what we call the Middle East on their side. Remember, the Middle East, everybody gets their oil from them. Everybody gets their petroleum from them. They're the biggest exporters of petroleum. You have the biggest exporters of everything else coming out of China.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got, come on now, you got oil and then you have supplies. And they're teaming up together to come against the biggest consumer economy in the world.
All they gotta do is turn off the water.
Who gonna turn off whose water?
I'm just saying, like China, Russia, they got all the oil. All they gotta do is turn off the water. We consumers. All they gotta do is turn it off, and you know what I'm saying?
So
exactly.
I'll say this: we gotta understand this, that the rest of the world is starting to realize that the United States is the evil of the earth. They are the tyrants, and their bullying position is because they have military bases everywhere. So although they don't have the GDP of trillions as BRICS do, they can just go take stuff. And this is where the Most High is going to turn the hearts of some of these leaders. Remember, the Arabs are going to remember their nature, right? The dragons of Arabia. He's going to make these alliances come together, which is going to spark off World War III. And we're living in these times. So, listen, we're not going to take the side of BRICS or NATO. We know that the Lord is behind all of this. But give me 9 and 10. That's what I mean. When I said the last two, I was talking about the last two from. So watch this. We're hitting you fast. It is kind of a little dry tonight. We're doing a lot of, but listen to this. 9 and 10.
Delve into the latest news and developments on world affairs, international relations, and technology. In today's video, we'll be discussing Mexico's potential move to join the BRICS group of like-minded states that have been reshaping...
Stop. Again, just find me any map of North America. So, bricks, 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 bricks. Mexico, Mexico, Mexico. I want y'all to see. Listen, we are living in times that are volatile, times that are unstable. So, actually, go back. I like that. Let's look at the whole world map. If you look how damn big Russia is. Look at China. Now, I don't think Russia's, because Greenland is really not that big. Okay, the way they do maps, Africa is actually bigger than most of that. So, but anyways, Russia is still the largest country. Russia, China, India, go over to Brazil. Go to Brazil. Then you got South Africa, right? Now, let's go to Mexico. Mexico is a large country, a great producer of crops and things of that nature, and they want to get aligned with BRICS, which has a super surplus of trillions upon trillions of dollars in there. That's what we read on Wikipedia. So now let's go back to the video, please.
Relations for the past decade. As the world becomes more interconnected and globalized, countries are seeking to align themselves with others that share their values and goals. Mexico's interest in joining the BRICS group is a clear example of this trend. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and like this video to show your support. Don't forget to activate the bell notification option to stay up to date with our...
that?
What's that?
Said that, all of these countries are joining because they have the same goals. None of them align with the goals of the U.S. That's the big point to take away from that. They got the same goals together,
right,
against what the U.S. goals is. The U.S. goals is, look, we're going to take over everything. We're going to control everything. And they're like, no, we want to control our own. Just like all of the other leaders of all of these other small countries like Muammar Gaddafi, and you had all of these other leaders that tried to stand up against it, and they were murdered and assassinated. But now you have different countries with big economies teaming up together with the same mind as the other ones that died previously.
So, and to that point, Mexico, this was not from last week or even 6 months ago. Mexico has had an interest for a while. BRICS is over 20 years old. So isn't it ironic now that Mexico is in the news and they're probably getting ready to transition? Well, if you didn't want your neighbor to the south to join BRICS, wouldn't you create a situation of national instability in the country? I'm telling you, the U.S. is the wicked of the earth. And if they do that, now you could have Iranian warships stopping in Mexico. You could have Russia, because now it is BRICS allied economically wise, but that could also follow with militarily as well. So now there's a whole push where American tourists are getting kidnapped. They've been getting kidnapped for decades. Okay, they made movies about it and all that. Now let's transition to, I think it's number 10 or number 9, Gabe.
That's gonna be worse than the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah, listen, y'all. That's what I'm telling y'all. Y'all get ready, man. Y'all brothers and sisters, y'all get ready. Y'all make sure that y'all, and I'll tell you right now, we don't say it to scare you. Y'all better make sure that keep your bills low. We got to invest in these community gardens. We got to get your houses paid off. Get your stuff in order, so that when things get turned up, you are prepared. Bishop has been talking about for you. Bishop Nathaniel has been talking about. Listen, stockpile food. Get prepared. Okay. There was just I saw a video on the one of the telegrams where there was a bunch of truckers where a company just closed down, and they're owed thousands, $10,000, and they're not getting paid. Banks are going under. U.S. banks are being closed. Think about what's going on. There's some places you go right now, in airports and other places, they do not accept cash. They don't accept cash. Okay? There's a movement going on to go to a digital. Why? There's a lot going on. It's happening right before your eyes. Mexico is like, these guys are the devil. We want to align with you. So the U.S., being the world power that they are, we got to create a situation. Just like, remember Panama Canal, they couldn't control. If there's ever an issue of national security, then well, the cartels are out of control. We got to go send our army and destroy them. Now you got military bases in Mexico. I'm telling you, watch. Next one. That's all right. We good.
War in Ukraine.
Yeah, if we can take that, maybe the disclaimer down, if it's possible.
Regarding sanctions, we will not consider them.
So the sanctions they're talking about, this is the Mexican president, is sanctions that the U.S. wants Mexico to align with their policies to put sanctions against Russia for their part in the Ukrainian war. Well, wouldn't that go against the fact that they're trying to get into BRICS? And one of the acronym letters of BRICS is Russia, BR. So again, I'm telling you, we play on.
The same policy continues.
Come on.
No queremos meter.
We do not want to get directly involved.
Nosotros, de manera directa, a sancionar
In imposing sanctions on any country.
a ningún país. Queremos tener.
We want to maintain a position of neutrality.
You see how this is where the U.S. forces people to take sides. Give me Revelation chapter 18. They force countries. And why? This should not scare anybody. This should just show you that the Bible is 100% facts. It's a true book that cannot be denied. Revelation, let me see something. It's either 17 or 18. It just came to me. Go to, yes, Revelation chapter 18. Start at verse 3. Yes, very good.
Revelations chapter 18 and verse 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath.
No, some nations.
For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
Come on.
And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her.
What does that mean? The kings of the earth have committed fornication. What is that talking about? Is that talking about the kings having sexual sins? Leviticus chapter 18. Is that what that's talking about? No. They're being pressured right now. You need to sanction. You need to agree with us. He's telling you on national, look, we with any, not just the Russia, we don't want to put sanctions to any. We want to stay out of it. You want to stay out of it? Okay. We had 4 people that were kidnapped over in your country. The cartel's out of control. They didn't give a damn about the cartel friggin' 20 years ago when it was all these rances and all this stuff going on, burning people on tires. Now all of a sudden, now you're concerned with the cartel, and now you want to send the U.S. military to squelch the cartel? They've been playing on this for a while. Now the time comes, our national security is not correct. Now they'll just take Mexico over. And he knows that. I'm telling you, they're going to take Mexico over. Okay? And here's the deal. Canada, they'll be more discreet about it because there's mostly white people. But it's mostly Israel that's in Mexico. And yeah, a lot of the Caucasian Mexicans are the elites. But there are many, many of our people, Issachar and the other 10 tribes, are scattered in Mexico, particularly Issachar. What else, Matt?
Hey, Officer Mikael just posted something in the chat. Very, very important. If BRICS sets up a base in Mexico, then New Orleans will be a target because New Orleans is the biggest port in this region, period. It's the biggest port in the southern region of the United States. Everything comes in and out through that port into the Mississippi River, and then it scatters abroad throughout all of the other countries. Now, New Orleans is now recognized as what? The murder capital of the country. So,
Yep.
Mexico's out of order. They need the military. New Orleans is out of order. Just so happens to be the biggest port. They're out of order. So now the military has to come in and regulate them too.
I'm telling you, if you really think about that, right, and you look at the response time of the New Orleans PD, right, it is it's the worst in the country. Here's the deal. You can't fix that? Yes, you can fix that. You send federal funding in, and you give people the hours, and you tighten things up. More police presence will bring down crime. As simple as that. That's why the whole Democratic push, what's going on in Portland and all that with the far left to push the defunding of the police. Yeah, there was this wrong to what was happened to a lot of black men in America. It's not a shock. It's been going on for hundreds of years. Like, we shocked? The reality is this, that things are going to happen. They are going to militarize a lot of, and Mexico is not off the table. So now, read Revelation again. I'm going.
Revelations chapter 18, verse 3.
Come on.
For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
Why does it say the wine of the wrath? Because the U.S. is, look, hey, Mexico, I'm going to tell you nicely one time. We need you to agree with these sanctions in Russia. Oh, so you not going to do that? And it's all passive when they do it. Next thing you know, the U.S. military is in their country. It doesn't matter. It was just an ends to a means. Oh, it's the cartel, national security, borders. They just create something out of thin air. Why? Because they can do whatever they want. They run the earth. This is how we know this is talking about the United States. This, I'm telling you, you should see this. See this in the spirit. Read on.
And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her.
That guy is one of the kings that the president of Mexico is a king of the earth. And he is going to be forced to commit fornication. If not, they'll take his ass out like they took Chavez out. Like they took Gaddafi. They'll take their ass out. Okay? You got to understand that. Read on.
And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacy.
All right, that's all I want. Go back to that. We almost done, y'all. We almost done. We're living in serious time. This is serious. Come on.
We want to maintain a position of neutrality.
Una postura de neutralidad. Lo hemos
as we have expressed in the United Nations.
Right. And hey, where's the United Nations home? In friggin' Washington, D.C. The United Nations home is in the United States of America. And remember, when George Bush, #2, went to war against the United Nations Operation Iraqi Freedom, right? He went against, those of you remember, against the United Nations. And they had a huge rally in D.C. against George Bush going to war. He went anyways. It means nothing. All of that is a show. It's a damn show. Read on, play on.
Estado expresando en Naciones Unidas, autodeterminación
Self-determination of peoples.
de los pueblos, solución
Peaceful settlement of disputes.
pacífica de las controversias. Y eso es lo que hemos hecho.
And that is what we have done.
Pause real quick. Get me Psalms 55. Actually, real quick. Get me, it's war was in their heart. Just came to me. War was in their heart. It's in Psalms. I'm going to find it there. Is it? Yes. Give me Psalms 55.
Psalms chapter 55 and verse 21.
So a lot of these kings of the earth would like to be like this guy. Neutral. Look, we just kind of want to like do our thing, and you over there like do your thing with your values, and like we're like kind of like all like get together. Yeah, right. It ain't gonna happen because the king of the earth, the ultimate king, the Babylon the Great, is not. It's his way or no way. Watch this. This is the characteristics. Read
Psalms chapter 55 and verse 21.
What does it say?
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
The words of his, and he did that to the Native American Indians. Okay, the North American, the natives, okay, read on.
But war was in his heart.
So no matter what they tell you in the United Nations, we're all here together, we're united in nation, it's all BS. Okay, war, it's war. Okay, Esau rules with war when you read in Genesis. War, he rules by the sword. And the number one Edomite on the block, it is not Russia. It's the United States of America. They have the most military bases by far and large over every country. The second is Britain, who is, remember, the United States came out of Europe and Great Britain. So they're the offspring, okay? Read.
His words were softer than oil.
Right, because everybody say, the land of the home and the free. Everything is that they say is the United Nations. Oh, we give aid. You do all this stuff. And they have these, everything that they do is with great, supposed to be forgiveness. Like, we give you this money to take care. We help you out. We set this up for you. Smooth, but behind the scenes, they go and they set up a politician. And if he doesn't want to go with that, they oust him out. They send the jackals in. They set up whoever. That's why I'm telling you, you think this guy, I pray to the Lord that's not the case. This guy, if he tries to buck up, they will remove him. You will not see this guy anymore, just like they did Chavez. And Chavez had a little bit of power, right? We thought, right? No. As much as we think, even when we look at BRICS, how powerful it is with $46 trillion, I'm telling you, the United States of America, and that's why it's going to take, the Most High is going to use all these Arabian countries, all these countries, the EU, they're all eventually going to all turn. And when that happens, amidst all of that, the Messiah is going to come back, Isaiah 31. And that's when we got to prepare for that day. Imagine in our lifetime we could see that. All of a sudden, the wars start going. All of a sudden, nuclear missiles, bombs, silos, get to shelter, get to shelter. You start worrying, this is the end. Oh, God, what are we going to do? And then you look up and you see the deliverer. I mean, you got to, man, we got to get ourselves right, man.
This is how you know Esau knows he's at war, not just with the other nations. He knows he's at war with Christ. When you watch all of them like old movies and old shows, shows that are based in old times like the Middle Ages and stuff like that, you see Esau sitting at their little round tables and, you know, they're getting their allies and they're the people that are near them, and they're coming to them like, look, you got to pick a side.
Mm-hmm.
You either with us or you against us. And if you're against us, we're going to destroy you. That's the same thing we have to do now. We got to pick a side. We either going to be on the side of the Most High in Christ, or we going to be on the side of Esau. If you're not with the Most High in Christ, you're with Esau. There ain't no playing the field. There ain't no get along to be alone. You are catering to Esau if you're trying to just hide behind the back and just, you know, let things play out. It's obvious that even in the time of this war that's going on, they're not letting their allies or friends or possible allies and friends do that. So why would Christ allow us to do that? We got to get our minds right. Pick a side. That's why he said either be all the way hot or be all the way cold. Don't be in between. Ain't no lukewarm.
Can I bring out a quick precept?
If it's related, absolutely.
Yes, sir. Go to Obadiah chapter 3 real quick. And Gabe, can you cue that video? It's like 45 seconds. It's like 45 seconds. As Cap was bringing out, at the end of the day, these people are prideful. And at the end of the day, they feel like they can't be defeated. That's why all the nations going to have to gather against them. Read that real quick.
Obadiah verse 3. The pride of thine heart had deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that said in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
Play that video. This is how they say, who shall bring me down to the ground. Play that real quick.
And the threats to our nations, they don't sleep. They're watching our every move. Iran, Russia, China, North Korea, ISIS, Al-Qaeda. They may be watching this right now. Our military should not be mistaken for a cable news gabfest show. We don't care what you look like. We don't care who you voted for, who you worship, what you worship, who you love. It doesn't matter if your dad left you millions when he died or if you knew who your father was. We have been honed into a machine of lethal moving parts that you would be wise to avoid if you know what's good for you. We will not be intimidated. We will not back down. We've seen war. We don't want war. But if you want war with the United States of America, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Someone else will raise your sons and daughters.
Drinking dope turned me to a superhero.
So just that alone, that's how they say who shall bring me down. And guess what? That video is viral right now. So also Matthew was bringing out a lot of people saying, "Hey, yo, I'm with Esau. Who gonna bring them down?" That's what they saying. I mute my mic.
Right. All praises. Look, I saw that video. That was a heavy video right there, and that's exactly the disposition of these American presidents. And this is why we do a show like this, to watch. And I think that was it. I think we had pretty much, there was one. Did we get to a second video in Mexico? Number 10. We watched number 10. All right. There was one other one. Hey, do number 5. I want to just show you something that I stumbled upon this just to show you that the technology with drones and there's a lot of things that we don't know about, because a lot of you probably did not know this technology exists. And if they show you this, there's a lot more they're not going to show you. Check this out. I want you to pause real quick. So when we were in the Army and the Marine Corps, they have what's called an Alice pack. When it's fully weighted, it can weigh up to 80 pounds. It's very, very heavy. I want you to watch how this guy has to struggle to get up and down. That pack that he has, there's 4 jets. 1, 2, and 2 on each side, right? There's some weight on this, all right? So, and this is, at first I'm looking for strings. I'm like, is this strings? No, this is a real, so if they're showing you this, you don't think that they have suits that men can jump 20, 30 feet in the air? They have things that they're not showing us. That's why when, Iran, you brought that up, officer, there's things that the U.S. has that allows them to control over 750 bases globally. The Most High has given Esau the art of war, okay? And this is one of his arts here. This is I don't think a lot of us have seen this play. Now you might think that's fake. Now watch how heavy this pack is. Look at the strings. Y'all look at the strings. All right, so just to show you that there is, for America to make statements like that, there is this and a whole lot more that's going on behind the scenes. This is why Babylon the Great is fallen. Who art thou to be destroyed? Because they are in everything. They're running the earth, and the Most High is going to raise up the EU, the Arabian nations, Russia, China. All of this is going to go down. And as it goes down, we're going to watch. We're going to pray. We're not going to put our trust in politics. We're not going to put our trust in the U.S. military. We're not behind China or Russia, because the Chinese had our people in slavery. There's Israelites still in Russia that was in slavery to the white man in Russia. We are going to be the centerpiece or the focal point of this whole war. The war is a series of things that have to happen before our deliverance. And this is why we got to watch, man. We got to pray, man. So that's tonight's show.
Hey, Cap, can I pull the scripture real quick?
Yes, of course.
Get Zechariah 4:6.
I think that's the one I was looking for.
Yeah, just for y'all Canary Mission people that want to say that we're violent extremists. This is how we're going to fight back. Read that.
That's the book of Zechariah, chapter 4 and verse 6. Then he answered and spake unto me, saying, This is the word of the Lord.
This is the word of the Lord unto who?
Unto Zerubbabel.
Zerubbabel was one of our forefathers, the Israelites. He was a forefather of us, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Read.
Saying, not by might.
We're not going to have any might to fight. We don't have jetpacks. We don't have B-52 bombers. We don't have F-16s. We don't even have M-16s. Let alone all of that stuff. We don't have none of that. Read.
Nor by power.
We don't have power, but God do. Read.
But by my spirit, said the Lord of hosts.
And you can't stop it, because this movement, what we're doing, is by the spirit of the Lord. Take that and clip it. We still going to be on top.
Hey, and that's why in Luke 21 it talks about in your patience possess your souls, because when you see things happen, when you go through things in society, when bad things, when things happen you seem are bad, you may lose a job, you may lose a child, things can happen to you. You say, well, why, Lord? Well, the Lord is raising up our people to rule this world, and that's something that we got to be patient and wait for. All right, so look, that's tonight's show. We're on time. Just try to watch news like Hindu news, different news sources other than the European Caucasian or the Western American Caucasian news perspective. There's more to it than that. Look at the perspective of even some Latin American media. Okay, look at that and get a different perspective. All right, so you can have more of instead of a one-sided opinion. All right, so with that, Israel, we're going to transition to the next part where some of you are going to lag off right now. It's called the lard back attack. Stay tuned. Hey, Shalom, Israel, Most High, and Christ bless. I'm going to get the serious undertone of the lard back attack is the number one killer of black men in this country is heart disease. Heart disease is a circulatory issue of the circulatory system in which the hardening and plaquing of arteries and veins, which leads to heart attacks, strokes, diabetes, and the list goes on. What we have to do as the 12 tribes of Israel is take the Bible's scriptures and apply them to our lives, because we have a vessel that God gave us. Is a temporary vessel made out of earth, okay? Made out of minerals, okay? Get me the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 16, and then get me my favorite scripture for the Lord. It's Sirach 30, verse 25. I want the temple first.
1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God?
What does that mean, that ye are the temple of God? It is a allegory or a similitude comparing your body to a temple. Your body is not made out of stone. The temples used to be made out of stone back in the day. Your body is made out of sinews, flesh, organs, skin, all right, hair, bones. All the different parts of your body are a vessel. Read it again.
1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God?
You don't know that you are the temple of God? Read on.
And that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you.
That's the point of me going here. This vessel you have holds your spirit. Like if you see the movie, there was a movie, I can't remember the name of the damn movie, but there was men that would get in these robot suits, and the robots were huge. I forget the name of the movie, man. It was a good movie. Say again? No. Yes, Pacific Rim. That's it. So this movie was the huge robots. It was the end of wars, and these men would be trained to get inside the head of these giant robots, right? And it was the spirit of those men that were controlling that through their thought process. So we have a spirit in us, And that spirit can get bogged down. It can get depressed. It can get, if the vessel it's in is not in the right functioning. And that's why we do the Lord back attack, because I'm trying to get at you brothers, because the men, it starts with the men, to get motivated to fix your vessel so your spirits are not bogged down, so you can do the work of the Lord. You can do things, okay, and not hinder your own family in the nation of Israel, okay? Read on.
If any man defile the temple of God.
So we know that's talking about cigarettes, crack cocaine, what's the other one? Fentanyl, weed. We know it's talking about that. It's also talking about being an obese person. If you're morbidly obese, is your temple healthy? No, it's not. That's why a lot of black people that died during COVID were obese. Okay, it's not an accident. Okay, read it again.
If any man defile the temple of God.
If any man defile the temple of God, read on.
Him shall God destroy.
So it would behoove you, if you are overweight, obese, or worse, morbidly obese, to fix your vessel, your temple, right? Sirach 30, verse 25. We're going to go for a couple more minutes.
That's the book of Sirach, chapter 30 and verse 25.
I'm about to switch it up real quick, because we're going to get a spiritual underlaying, and then I'm going to go right to start attacking fatback lard asses. Read.
A cheerful and good heart.
So if you have a cheerful and a good heart, right, what does that mean? You realize, hey, we the Israelites, yeah, I got to work a 9 to 5. I got to be here. But you know what? I got also this work to do for the Most High. I have to make sure that I can be cheerful when doing this work. And if you are 80 pounds overweight, right, Lagabar, okay, and you got all type of freaking problems, okay, I'm going to drop some names here, and you know what I'm telling you. You're going to fix yourself. Read.
A cheerful and good heart.
Come on.
Will have a care of his meat and diet.
And particularly if you are, listen, if you are an officer in IUIC and you are obese, you are not enduring hardness as a soldier, you can fix that. You Babylonian first world problem having simple behind. Read it again.
A cheerful and good heart will have a care of his meat and diet.
So you don't care about your diet and your meat? You a soldier of the Lord who you're over men? Are you serious? And the reason why I say this is because this. Lord will, life lasts, we're going to create a culture in IUIC where brothers and sisters come in, they come in sick, they come in overweight. And the culture filtered through the scriptures is going to be you come in, you put away the pork, you put away the drugs, and you put away the obesity. And it's going to happen. But it's going to take brothers who shout out to my man. I would spend some time with Fat Mark. I called him Fat Mark to his face the whole weekend. Shout out to Fat Mark out of Austin. You know why? That brother, I'm going to share a story too. That brother, I went to his IUSC school, and wherever I go, I see brothers, and I move with a sense of empathy to try to get under brothers' skin. So, and all praise the Lord, by the way. So I said, damn, brother. I made a joke. I said, damn. I said, yo, hey, they got 2x12s under the stage because this behemoth, fat back, lard ass, beluga whale looking lard ass is going to break the whole stage. And he was kind of a little bit. So guess how much you weighed during that time? 580 pounds of fat, blubber, and disgusting lard. Well, I was visited, right? And I'm like, yo, who that dude is? I never seen him before. Sure enough, it was Fat Mark. Fat Mark is down to 340 pounds. Fat Mark lost over 235 pounds in a couple of years because Fat Mark understands the importance of nation time. Fat Mark decided he's going to make a change. This is a real brother. I'm going to get some of these tech nerds. We're going to do a whole story about Fat Mark. I'm telling you, he ain't done yet. He's still got about 100-something change to go. Read it again.
A cheerful and good heart will have a care of his meat and diet.
So you got to have a care of your vessel. You can control the things that you eat, and your diet is a way of eating. It's a lifestyle, right? So why? Because you brothers, you need to know your blood pressures. You need to understand that there is I'm not a doctor, but I've been around a bunch of them in the friggin' ICU to know enough. I don't want to be around a lot of them anymore, right? The higher hypertensive states or high blood pressure is a direct correlation, lard ass, between obesity. So if you lose the weight, you lower your blood pressure. It's just a common deduction of logic. You lower your blood pressure, which puts you at a far less risk for heart attacks, lard backs, and strokes, lard asses, and prediabetes, and all the other stuff that affects y'all. Okay? You have to fix it. It's your job, soldier, to fix it. When I say soldier, I'm talking about ranker. We are soldiers of the Lord. Okay? Now I'm going to switch gears up a little bit. Get me Sirach, Let's Thou Be Hated. Sirach 31, I think it is. Eat as it becometh the man. We got a couple of videos. And here's the deal. I already know that some of you are offended. The fact that I call some of you fatback, disgusting, horrible, terrible, fatback lard asses. Well, guess what? You can lose all the weight. It is a first world Babylonian problem that you choose to have, and you are a victim of your own friggin' mind. And we're trying to pull your ass out of the fire, okay, so you can get off your fat ass and lose the weight. And it starts with you men, because the women are too damn weak, okay? You'll never hear me say nothing about no woman being overweight. I'm not going to do that. I'll tell my own wife I get on her, though. She got about 30 pounds to go, okay?
That's the book of Sirach, chapter 31 and verse 16.
But you men, if you brothers love black women, listen to me. If you love black and Hispanic women, and you tired of seeing our sisters being overweight and obese, because it's a reality, right? Do something about ourselves first. Fix yourself, and guess what? By default, the pressure goes on them now. Because you took the bullets out the gun. How you going to tell your wife to stop eating and your ass is 75 pounds of blubber, fat, disgusting? How you going to do that? I'm telling you, take the bullets out the gun. It's not a game no more, man, because I ain't anointing none of you in the hospital. I ain't doing none of that. Especially if you have, this is, the spiritual anointing is, listen, and since I've been in truth for a minute now, since I came through the door, Bishop Nathaniel's been teaching this out of the Holy Bible. Not just Leviticus 11, verse 7, the swine is unclean to you. All the other sub-laws has been taught to us. We have no excuse. Read.
That's the book of Sirach, chapter 31 and verse 16.
Jokes are coming. You just stand by. Read.
Eat as it becometh a man.
The men, listen, men set the order in the nation of Israel. If you want to get the nation in order health-wise, I'm talking about health right now, you have got to fix yourself first, men. And I'm going to tell you something. A lot of you brothers are so weak, you can't even get out of your own mental hang-ups. The reason why you're depressed, lard ass, is because you don't like the way you look because you're freaking fat. If you lose all the weight, you'll feel a lot better. Read.
Those things which are set before thee.
Think about it. If I am a single man, I'm either going to have cook for myself or I would go to a restaurant. I control what things are set before me. If I'm a married man, I control. Listen, you're going to buy this for me, and the kids are going to eat this. I'm a big, fat, disgusting lardback that's 45 pounds overweight. Sweetheart, I need to get here. You need to help me. This is what I need to eat. I'm going to eat like this until I lose all the weight, and then I'll resume and maintain. You're going to set this in order. Understood, wife? Yes, sir. That's exactly the way we're going to set things in order. How are you going to have fat kids? How is a 12-year-old going to be 60 pounds overweight? It's ridiculous. You're 12 years old talking about 190 pounds, you weigh 120 pounds. It's your fault, parents. Okay? It's ridiculous. Read.
And devour not.
Right, like a damn pig. Okay? Kids don't need to eat 7 times a day. You're an enabler. You are enabling parents. Okay, in college, there's 3 types of parental style major. One is called authoritarian, where you're rigid, overly rigid. The other is called permissive. You're like the far left. Everything goes, I'll let him eat what he wants. He's going through a phase. And the other one is authoritative, where you got to take action when it's time to take action, and you got to have a certain amount of empathy. Yes, son, you are a disgusting fat lard ass, and I know you're depressed about it. This is what we're going to do to fix you. You're going to eat like this. Okay, now talk to your pediatrician and all that before you do that, of course. Read.
Lest thou be hated.
Now comes the segue that we've all been waiting for. Cue the videos. Now, even the cat knows that there's a way out of being a fat, disgusting lard ass. That's probably Gabe's cat. No, it's not Gabe's cat. It looks like Gabe. Well, look, go back. So, listen, you know why this is a good teaching? So, because you don't, other cats seeing that, looking like, what the hell is you doing? Cats know they're not supposed to be fat lard asses. That's why out of 1,000 cats, 1 might be fat. That's because he lives with a friggin' old white people that feed their cat and keep them inside. Lions aren't fat, neither are doggone cats. Okay? This is an example of a fat, lard-ass cat. Play.
The lights are cut off, but you're still looking at your dream, reviewing it every day and saying to yourself, it's not over until I win.
Pull-ups. Pause. See that? That's motivation to fix your diet and work out. Okay? And that's a lard back fat cat. Now, next video. Pause. Here's the thing. Fat people accomplish a lot. Okay? Shout out to Officer Malachi. Fat people can accomplish a lot. But sometimes your weight can hold you back from reaching your goals. In this particular segment, we're going to see where his caloric surpluses, a.k.a. his fat, disgusting, lard-back gut, prevents him from accomplishing his mission. Play.
And this what happened.
Children, stay seated. You might hit the ceiling.
So I went to a off-brand wrestling event, and this what happened.
Children, stay seated. You might hit the ceiling.
Pause. Look at a guy in the front row filming him. So what I'm wondering, right? Because I'd be thinking about what other people think. If anybody is his friend in that row, I would be like, bro, get down. Let's really think about it. So this guy right here in the middle, he's feeling him like, I'm going to put this up. He's going to. Anyways, it's just play on. Maybe it's not that fun. I don't know. Play.
So I went to a off-brand wrestling event,
Look at
and
the
this
kids.
what happened.
The kids are pointing like.
Seated. You might hit the ceiling.
So, y'all, the ref fell. That dude was so fat that shook the entire ring and the ref fell. I didn't notice that. All right. Sometimes being a lard back will have you come short of your goals. Now, again, I got a couple other lard back. Oh, Gabe, I got a couple new ones I sent you, right? All right, now, here's another one that I find to be quite interesting. Wait a second. Did I send you that? Maybe I didn't send you that, Gabe. Hang on a sec. Cue the next one, please. We're almost done. Stay with us. Okay, now, okay. Play it again. Now, I like the, I do a Bishop Yawasop, right? So, pause right at the beginning. Pause. So, there were so many breaches of psychological and public social security that were broken here. First and foremost, there's a weight limit on these slides that they allowed to be breached, like Resputia. Ma'am, you have to have bottoms on. There's a weight limit. How much you weigh? I weigh 165. Look at this guy. Oh, stop right here. Stop. Please, please. Now, there's a brother that was supposed to stop and say, sir, let me check you out. This guy's about 500 pounds, okay? And that is a very steep pitched slide. When we look at him, he hits the jump, and the man flies like about 40, 50 feet in the air, right? So, there's a whole formula in trigonometry and geometry. As the mass of that lardback flies through the air, at that angle, with that weight, the velocity with which he hits the water is tremendous. And here's the thing. The people at the park that were down there at the base all should have been like, no. But because we all like a good fat joke, all of that social structure to stop that lard back from going out, all was out the window because we like to laugh at fat people like we're doing right now. Now, let us enjoy this.
No!
Oh, that's funny. All right, now, I think is there one more game? We almost done. Okay, I love it. We love it. So, I need a good laugh after today. So, again, Israel, if you look like these people, we need to fix it. How do you fix it? First, number one, talk to your doctor. Then go down to eating one meal a day, healthy keto. Here's an example of a healthy keto meal after your doctor gives you permission. You have perhaps 4 or 5 hard-boiled eggs, or a piece of salmon, a piece of chicken thigh with the fat, a boatload of Brussels sprouts, broccoli, a whole bunch of vegetables, and a handful of berries. That's your meal for the day. Nothing else. Guess where the rest of the calories come from, lard back? Your fat. 1 pound of fat is 3,500 calories. Look it up. Cue the video. Yes.
Kiss my entire...
Now, real quick. Now, here's the deal. So, the lard back. One of the lard back's favorite pastimes and hobbies is hobbies with which they use very little physical exertion. Many a lardback have been known to become video game masters because they can go into a world of virtual reality where they now can become a character who's physically fit, strong, and can kick everyone's rear end. But when the lardback doesn't get his way, the lardback can become dangerous to local electronics. Play the video.
Kiss my entire giant fat ass! You're the fat ass! No, you're the fat ass! You're the fat ass!
What is your problem?
How do you keep calling me fat online?
How do they know you're fat?
I don't know how they know I'm fat! God damn it!
Pause, wait. This is how you know this is a white family, right? That's his mother. He's living with his mother. He just threw a stuffed animal at his mother. And he's been doing that his whole life. He was doing that when he was 4 years old and whoop his ass. So anyways, this lardback, about a cool 388 to 408, somewhere in that range. The lardback is just frustrated. So let's play on. I know it's getting late, but we play on.
How do you keep calling me fat online?
How do they know you're fat?
I don't know how they know I'm fat! God damn it! God damn it! God damn it!
What did you do?
I have dealt deceitfully with the audience. I have dealt deceitfully with you. How dare I say that man weighs 388 to 4? That man is not a pound under 500 pounds. That man is a 500. That man is a quarter ton. That is a quarter tonner. That man is over 500 pounds. Okay? So now, again, lardbacks, here's the deal. Let's just soak it all in, right? You know what? It's public disclaimer. I know a lot of people, I'm mean, right, or whatever, right? Here's the deal. When I look at a guy like that, my self-confidence goes right through the roof. I feel great about look, Gabe right now is like, damn, I ain't that bad. I mean, Gabe is fat. He looks like two wasps stung him on the side of his face. He's only 26 years old. He's a lard back. Ace, another lard back. But this guy here is like, he's the lard back of lard backs, right? So if you're fat and you want to feel better, get you a fatter friend. You know what I'm saying? All right, play on.
Well, the goddamn thing's red-ringing.
We're not buying you another one.
Well, it's my money. I'll buy one if I goddamn want one. God damn it! It's the third one this year. God damn it! You think they'll fix it again?
I don't know.
God damn it! God damn it! God.
Francis?
What?
Calm down. Calm down.
No!
Plus, I want to point out that this lard back, as soon as he's done, he will be instantly out of breath. Okay. So anyways, look. Are we making fun of this lard back? 100%. Is this absolutely hilarious? You better believe it. Do some of you look like this? Unfortunately, yes. And we do not, because look, we're all enjoying ourselves. Some of you eating buttered popcorn and drinking a damn a diet, whatever. You Coke Zero right now. And you're watching this and you're saying, damn, I feel good about myself compared to this guy. The reality is this, is that a lot of us, we are overweight, we're fat, and we need to lose the weight. And this is a great way to look at people who have a eating disorder. This is morbid obesity. And we have people amongst us who are morbidly obese. And this man is probably no older than 30 years old. The reality is he does not have a long life ahead of him unless he does something about it. Now he's an Edomite, but still. There are Israelites. Some of us look like this. Moral of the story, if you're going to buy video game machine equipment in your lard ass, put it in a steel housing and lock it from yourself and hide the key. All right? Anyways, next video. We're done after this. Pause. Best for last. Pause. Now, rewind it. Come on, man. Damn, I wanted commentary. It's not Gabe's fault. Now, this is the last video. So, here's the thing. Anytime you go to a public water park, there's a reason why the lardbacks should be the anchor. They should go last and not first. Why? Because it can literally take everyone out. Gabe ruined it for us, but it's okay. If I didn't point out, Gesa and Eva are resident lardbacks. So now, the lardback is going up the steps, and there's a perfectly normal, healthy person in the back that's became very agitated at the slow progress of the lardback ascending the steps to get to the top of the bounce house. Play. Notice, pause. Notice. One is looking back like, look, I'm going as fast as I can. This lardback is taking up everyone, right? The one right behind her, it begins to actually prod the lardback by hitting the lardback. Play. Pushing the lardback. Moral of the story, being a lardback can hurt people around you. So with that being said, listen, stay in the spirit, lose the weight, talk to your doctor. I encourage all of you, check out Healthy Keto. 1 meal a day, you can do it. Live off your blubber like a grizzly bear. Literally, you go into ketosis, but talk to your doctor, With that, I'm Captain Shem. I know it's late. I know I get on you a lot of fat people. If you're fat and you're offended, great. Now do something about it. Or move to friggin' Angola or Chad and hang out for 3 months where you only have about this much to eat a day. How about that? And with that, shalom. Hey, shalom. Thanks for sticking with us. I know it's late. All praise to the Most High. Y'all watch and pray. Take care of your health. That's it. We signing off. We are your hosts. I'm Captain Shem.
Officer Matthew.
Officer Iran.
Officer Malachi. All right. So if you enjoyed today's show, please give alms, all right? To give at your local school, drop an envelope in the alms box. To give online via PayPal at iuic.neworleans@israelunite.org. To give to the Booster Club via PayPal at iuic.fundraising@israelunite.org. All right, Israel, shalom, Most High Christ bless. We are not a hate group. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Israel United in Christ is a nonviolent Bible-based movement. We do not advocate or condone any acts of violence against any race, ethnicity, or gender. We advise that if anyone hears or knows any plots to cause harm to anyone or to break the laws of the land, you must contact the proper authorities to bring awareness to any possible threat, as stated in Leviticus chapter 5, verse 1.
Hey, Israel, IUIC, New Orleans, subscribe to our YouTube page. We're on the path to 20,000. YouTube, bell notification, all the good stuff with that. Help us to grow. Listen, in the comment section, tell us what you want to hear. We've been checking. We don't see too many ideas. What you want to hear, we're going to do it. And with that, we say shalom.
Shalom.
Judo blood. I see.
Look, I see mansions in the kingdom. I see hunters slaying demons. I see fire on this earth coming down like Hiroshima. I see prophets rising up, prophesying scriptures cut.